You see, and I'm saying that because, you know, we live in a world, we live in a society where we're surrounded by people, places, and things that can be discouraging. You know, times that we're independent on what side you're on and where you're at, it can be discouraging. We're surrounded by our things that can discourage you. You know, when folks talk about the market still terrible, that can discourage you to want to own something. They telling you this or that, you know, kids are acting crazy. If you're one who wants to have children, that can be discouraging. You know, marriages are crazy. Folks killing their wives and hugging, that could be, you know, we're in a society that we're surrounded that you can be discouraged. But remember, discourage is the opposite of encourage. And I say that because you can't be both at the same time. You can't be encouraged and discouraged at the same time. You see, when you're encouraged, you're full of hope. When you're encouraged, you're full of confidence. There's a level of excitement and anticipation and strength to move forward when you're encouraged. But now, when discouragement sits in, you're drained, you're tired, you're weak, your zeal is gone. And if you're not careful, that discouragement can turn into another D word called depression. You see, there are several ways on how we can become discouraged. But I found out one of the most common ways towards a Christian is in Proverbs 13. Let's go there. Proverbs 13. Many of you know this verse. Proverbs 13, verse 12. It says, hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Hope deferred. This word deferred, it simply means postponed or it means delayed. So in other words, hope gets weak or lost when what you're believing for seems as if it's not going to happen. See, hope deferred or hope postponed or hope delayed. Hope gets weak. It gets lost. Especially the person you're standing in faith and you're believing God for something, then it seems as if what you're believing for is not going to happen. And it makes the heart sick. And if you're not careful, you can become discouraged. You see, but what you've got to watch out for, you can't allow time to dictate or control your hope. Now, I'm going to help somebody on this. Don't you allow time to control your hope. Because if you do that, you're going to always fall into discouragement. See, you don't allow time to control you. In other words, if this don't happen in 45 days, this don't happen in 60 days, this don't happen in 1 year, if this don't happen by the time I'm 30, depending on who you are, 40, 50, 60. See, don't allow time to control your hope. Now, that's a word for somebody. See, because once you do that, then you're going to always fall into becoming discouraged. Because that time will pressure you. See, because if you allow 30 days, then when you get at day 20, that pressure coming on. Day 21, that pressure. Day 23, 24, 25, 20, 28, 9, now you're about to enter the 30th day and look like nothing happened. You lost hope. Oh, my. You see, if you're going to make it happen, most definitely, you can't be distracted, but you can't be discouraged. So how do I stop this enemy of discouragement? Quickly go to Galatians 6. Oh, gosh, I got to end. 6th chapter of Galatians, verse number 9. Hallelujah. Very familiar passage. And let us not be weary in well-doing or doing well. For in due season we shall reap if we faint not. So that's the key here. Let us not be weary in well-doing. One translation says, let us not lose heart and grow weary. You see, in other words, don't stop or even slow down in doing what you know is right. See, one of the ways you avoid discouragement is what you know to do right, keep doing it. You know, don't slow down. See, because you got to be careful. You start slowing down something, and if you don't pick that back up, you're going to eventually stop. So you don't slow down. Keep doing what you know to do is right. Oh my. See, if you remember, really, you really only have two choices. Either you're going to stand or faint. Now, for the most part, you know, none of us, we don't want to faint. And then, well, you just stand. Pastor, I'm just kind of tired of standing. Well, faint then. I don't want to faint. Well, stand. I mean, that's what it just boils down to. I'm tired of standing. Well, I guess you're going to faint. I don't want to faint. Well, stand. You know, that's what it boils down to. But I believe somebody's going to remain standing. Sometimes there comes a time when you have to do as David did, is encourage yourself. See, sometimes everybody may not understand that you have the revelation on making it happen. And sometimes maybe you can't get a bunch of folks to encourage or see where you're going. But sometimes you got to do like David, encourage yourself. Because somebody says it's all right to encourage yourself. We're not talking about arrogance or pride or none of that. You encouraging yourself in the Lord. You know, hey, sometimes you got to encourage yourself and say, yes, I am the head and not the tail. Somebody could have just called you all out of your name last night or whatever, but sometimes you got to encourage yourself. Say, yes, I'm blessed. I'm the head. I'm not the tail. I'm above only. Yes, I'm saved. Yes, I'm full of the Holy. Yes, hey. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Oh, my. Last verse and I'm done. Let's go back to what God told Joshua in order for him to make it happen. Go to Joshua. First chapter of Joshua. And we're going to wrap this up. First chapter of Joshua. Verse 1. Says, now after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua, the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. In other words, God is opening up, telling Joshua, listen, don't dwell on the past. Moses dead. You know, y'all should have been in the land of Canaan before, but you didn't. So in other words, same thing with yourself. Don't dwell on the past, what was or what didn't happen or what you thought. That's not the issue anymore. And then also he's more or less telling, listen, no more excuses. He said, arise. It's time to move forward. Oh, my. See, the problem is some of you can't arise because you're still in the past. Let it go. I'm going to say it again. Let it go. But I can't let it. Yes, you can. I'm going to say it a third time. They say 3 times, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Let it go. Look at somebody say, let it go. See, when you let it go, now you can arise. Yeah, this happened, that happened. Hey, but it's over. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with him. I'm done with her, them, the whole thing. Time to rise. No more excuses. Verse 3, he says, every place the sole of your feet shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. Now, we understand what that means. I mean, that's prophetic. That's a promise, even from a geographical standpoint, from a natural standpoint, every place. But kind of include this in part of that. Every promise of the word that you settle on, I've given it to you. Every place, every promise that you settle on, God is saying, I've given it to you. If you've settled your heart that you're healed, God said, I've given it to you. If you settled your heart on, hey, I'm rich, wealth and riches is in my house, God said, I've given it. If you settled on the head, not the, God has given it to you. Then verse 5, he says, see, this is all a part of this making it happen and what needs to be done. Verse 5 says, there shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. See, that's why I emphasize with some of you, let it go. Don't be afraid to let it go. I can't move on. I don't know how. Yes, you can. He said, there shall not any man be able to stand, or any circumstance or situation, stand before thee all the days of thy life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. It don't get no deeper than that. When God say, I won't fail you nor forsake you. It don't matter if others come and go. He said, I won't fail you. In other words, what I said, hey, it's a done deal. I won't forsake you. I won't leave you. See, I've learned sometimes when you got that assurance that God is with you. And I'm not saying people don't matter. That's not my issue. Because when you know you're right and God is with you, eventually some folks will fall in line. Verse 6, be strong and of good courage. For unto this people shall divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. And this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. And he says it again in verse 9, have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever or wherever you go. I'm out of time. I'll pick it up in the next service.